Hello. Let's repot the pot our Burgundy Flamingo Anthurium. I have sprayed them with the pest control earlier, just in case. I've noticed some of my plants got holes in them, so I thought maybe they have one of those pests that bury themselves. And plus, I see a little bit of small, tiny flies that goes on top of the soil. So I've sprayed them all today, which is a tablespoon of neem oil, just normal water, a teaspoon of washing detergent with a litre of water, and I shake, and then I spray the leaves on the top. So anyway, let's repot this. And I have got already put aside just 2 handful of pet moss, a couple of handful of perlite, and a pinch of blood and bone, as well as a handful of charcoal. So that's my first mix. And then also I have crushed up some shells from the eggs, a little bit of shells from the eggs. So I've mixed it already with the premium potting mix. So I'm going to get rid of the oranges, just the eggs, and then so 2 parts of this, so 4 handful for my Anthurium mix. So it's got all sorts of stuff in there, great for drainage. At the same time, the water keep the moisture from the having a pet moss, and with the perlite it also secretes the extra water. So this is my mix for my Anthurium. So 2 parts medium premium potting mix, 1 part perlite and 1 part pet moss, and I also added a handful of charcoal and some shells from the eggs that I have used. So I keep the shells and I keep it and I mix it with that. So, and then just a sprinkle of blood and bone for fertilizing. So alright, so let me find my little candy jar that I want to put it on. Okay, here's my candy jar that I paid $10. I put some rocks on the bottom, which I will take some out. This is just to stop the roots from being stagnant in water if I do overwater it, and I'll be able to see down the bottom the excess water. So I don't want my roots to be soaking in the water, so I will water it just a little bit, making sure that it's not dry. So that should be enough. And then I'm going to put a handful of charcoal again, just on the top. There we go. And then let's pop our soil. Our complete ingredients in there. Okay. Put a little bit more. So this container is quite deep, so it will give my plants plenty of room to grow. Alright, so let's grab the actual plant, which is over here. At the moment it's still covered in pet moss from the postage, so I'm going to get rid of that and save it for another parcel that I will send. I'm going to send some plants to my mum. I've got some Mandiola pothos that I purchased the other day, which I got for 50%, and I'm going to give her 1. So I got 2 for the price of 1. So instead of having paid $120, I've paid half. So that was really good. I managed to score that, so I'm going to give my mum half of it, because the one that I've got, it didn't survive too well during winter time. So I've got a new one, which I will show you later on. And I'm going to build a pole. So I've got some idea of crocheting the orchid mix and also so guys, I am going to, there's quite a few bit in there. I'm going to halve this one, so I have some baby one aside. I have to be very careful that I won't hurt it. It's already got 1, 2, 3, 4 flowers. So my beautiful burgundy Anthurium, I'm going to take a little bit of the babies and replant it in another pot. Now I have just separated them. The whole plant actually cost me $50, so I am going to put the little babies in a separate container, so a separate pot, so I have more. So I've got one there, and I also I've actually cut some of the leaves, so I'm not actually happy with that, but it was quite hard to separate. There's one, there's another one. There we go. So I'll grow that one a little bit stronger before I sell them. I mean longer, so I can get some of my money back and also buy some more other plants. But I'm keeping the mother plant, which has 3 flowers. Now I managed to cut one with the tiny flowers right there. So then they got roots, so I've got 4, and I've got to get 5 babies out of that. So there you go. So even if I sell the babies for $20 each, or 20, yep. And this is the mother plant. I just took it up from this little spot there. The mother plant's got so much root, so it's perfect. It will definitely live. Now I'm going to pop it into my jar. Now there is quite a lot of roots. I wonder if I should cut them or just leave it the way it is and let it grow. I don't want to hurt the plants, apart from the fact that I've already taken the babies. I might cut some because it's just too much in there. So just one sec. Okay guys, there were actually quite a few bit of roots, so what I've done is cut the very base, the very bottom of the roots there, and I've trimmed it a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant this in a separate planter together with a very tiny baby plant that I got. Now I'm hoping this will still going to shoot, because they've still got the main node, and I can see there's a little baby shooting there. So I'm going to experiment on that and see if that actually just leave, but I'll leave that one sticking out a little bit. Now the mother plant is here. I've got 4 baby plants that I want to replant. There we go. And the mother plant is right there. So I've just taken that bit there, but there's plenty there, so there won't be any problem. So now it can fit in my jar quite nicely, like so. See, I want it to be here so it's plenty of room, and at the same time it looks decorative rather than just a plant, because I want to keep this one. This is my one that I want to keep, so that's why I want to put it in my little candy jar that I've acquired from a lady who used to own a lollies shop, and she was just getting rid of her empty jar, so I bought it for $10 each. So let's just pop the soil on each side. There we go. And of course, this is well drainage. I've got a whole lot of different types of soil in there. Just making sure that the plant is in the middle, and it also, the root is not being bent or broken down there. It's not quite in the middle, so I'll just move it a little bit. I don't want to stress it out too much already, because I've already taken all the babies. There we go. So I've got one of my, and this is, they've got plenty of room for it to grow. So I have no doubt that it will be fine in here. See, I'm just shaking it so the roots, it's not bent, being squashed down there. And then I'm going to put perlite around it so the stem is not going to be soaking in water, or it's not, you know, I don't want it rotten, so I'll just put some perlite. There. Press it a bit firmer just to make sure that there we go. Lovely. Now I just got to clean it so it looks nice and clean. So this is my Anthurium Burgundy flowers. There we go. Yeah, I do need a bit of cleaning because it's a bit dusty. That's okay. I did, like I said, I did spray them with pest control earlier, and I broke the leaves, so not happy with that. Alright, so I'll just quickly show you my peace lily that I did last night, the yellow variegated. Okay guys, this is the peace lily that I've actually done last night. I repotted it into this jar, which I had 2 of, so it's quite long. Now I'm going to let it develop in here. I have 3 plants in there, which will give them plenty of room to shoot more babies. So this one I purchased for $35, but I actually leave 3 little bits because I'm going to send this to my mom because she doesn't have the yellow variegated. So I got over here some. I've got 3 little ones that I'm going to share with her. So among my other things that I want to sell, I want to send to her, so she doesn't have to spend the money. So I've got my own. Otherwise, if I wasn't sending that to my mom, I probably would have pot it and resell it, so I get my money back and still have something to keep once it's a little bit developed. So there you go guys, that's my peace lily yellow variegated. What do you think, huh? I'm not going to clean the leaves yet because I've sprayed them with the pest control, my homemade pest control. So I'm going to leave it for a week and then clean the leaves later on. So that's my peace lily. Okay, get back to my Anthurium. I'm going to clean up the base and then take some video once I'm done. Okay, so it's not so disgusting looking. Alright, so here we go. So I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, I've cleaned it up and it's ready to be displayed. I'm just going to spray a little bit of water on the base. Here we go. So let's find a spot for this little baby.